If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka, the amazing chocolatier. Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka, everybody give a cheer. He's modest, clever, and so smart he barely can restrain it. With so much generosity, there's no way to contain it. To contain it, to contain, to contain, to contain.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw, and I'm joined today by a good friend of mine, Kyle Carruthers.
Hey everybody, how's it going today?
And we're going to be talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the remake from 2005 that is remade the original film from the early 70s, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. But before we get to that remake, Kyle, have you been watching anything this week?
Actually, no, I really haven't. I've been kind of busy this week. I mean, I've watched a couple random things just here and there on like Netflix, but as of anything of substantial merit, no.
No, not. We're here visiting you, and we've been watching just some random stuff on Netflix and spending a large amount of time just browsing Netflix is what it feels like.
I actually kind of disappointed in the fact that most movies now on Netflix are just kind of
you've either seen them or it's just kind of indie movies that aren't good.
Yeah, what was that one that we were watching last night?
Parallels wasn't bad. It was just it was like a movie pilot. It was like a TV pilot, and then I went and researched it last night after we kind of all went to bed, and it was It's a TV pilot for a show that never got picked up. So, and it felt like it. It's an interesting concept. It's essentially sliders without the ability to... It's sliders without the people having the technology to slide. It's like they're just... it's thrust upon them.
No, and I think if it was an actual TV show that got picked up, it would be pretty good. Yeah, it'd be a great concept.
It'd be pretty good.
But jump worlds the way that they did.
But it's not going to... because it's Fox.
But the only thing that I found really interesting about it is how weird would it be, even if you were a slider, to bump into yourself in that parallel universe?
I don't remember in Sliders if they do, because in Sliders it's not parallel Earths in Sliders. It's just like
it's parallel
universes, right? But it's not parallel Earths.
No, it's not. It's each place was different each time they slid to the next place. Where this is. It's the exact day, the exact time. It's just a different Earth. So, one was super technologically advanced that we saw.
The other one was like fucking nuked.
Nuked and destroyed. And
I think it's an interesting concept. I don't think it'll ever go anywhere because it's just... I think that they would need a fair amount of word of mouth since it's now just kind of languishing on Netflix as a movie, that when you watch it, it totally just feels like the pilot for a TV show. I mean, it even ends on like a giant cliffhanger too.
Yeah, how the movie just stops.
Yeah, it just stops.
Because it's one of the main characters.
Because it feels like a TV show.
Well, because, I mean, one of the main characters throughout the movie that's kind of like explaining what's going on, you find out she has 2 identical people with her. Now, it makes me wonder, did she pick them up on alternate Earths and now they're just trying to mess with people? Which is also...
Well, you'll never know, bro.
I know, but it also brings up the point. Netflix is trying to jump on this bandwagon of all these original shows like House of Cards and Hemlock Grove.
Well,
and
House of Cards isn't original.
But it was to Netflix. I mean, it wasn't like it was...
It was a BBC original.
Nah.
Yeah.
Was it really?
House of Cards is a remake of a BBC show.
But then no mainstream. Yeah, it does actually. But no mainstream network. I'm talking like ABC.
No American network.
Yeah, picked it up, but Netflix picks it up.
Well, it was made for Netflix.
That's what I'm saying. So why couldn't Netflix pick up Parallels and be like, "Hey, we can do this. We can."
I don't know. I mean, they could. I think Netflix is more interested in creating original content and bringing back like nostalgic shows than they are picking up other studios' kind of throwaways. Because that's what Parallels is, right? Fox didn't want to go forward with it as a show, but they still had the footage shot, so they just made it into a movie. But it wasn't a movie.
But it was the crappiest movie ever because of the ending.
Yeah.
The movie was great up until like the last 30 seconds, and then you watch the ending and it's like, there's no finish to the story. No. It's this big continuation. It's like, where do you go from here?
It's a huge cliffhanger for a movie or for a series, a TV series that's never going to get made. So, but, well, we were talking last week because you had really wanted to sit down and do a Kulturecast.
Yeah, I've always wanted to.
We're in the middle of remake month, Not-So-Newvember, and we were sitting talking, trying to figure out a movie that would be worth watching and talking about. And you suggested Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And mind you, don't get confused, dear listener. We're talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, not Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the one that everybody knows about. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory came out in 2005. It was directed by Tim Burton, based on the Roald Dahl book. And the IMDb synopsis of the film is: a young boy wins a tour through the most magnificent chocolate factory in the world, led by the world's most unusual candy makers.
Invite you to enter a whole new world, unlike anything you've ever imagined.
It's beautiful.
Where dreams are your reality.
Look over there.
They're Oompa Loompas.
Back off, you little freaks.
I do say that all seemed rather rehearsed.
You're really weird.
And Willy Wonka
Let's boogie.
is your guide.
Ew.
This year, 5 lucky kids will follow in his footsteps.
I want a squirrel.
Don't touch that squirrel's nuts.
Why is everything here completely pointless?
But only one.
Candy doesn't have to have a
Kyle,
point.
had you seen this film before?
Originally, before we decided to sit down and watch this for the podcast, I had seen it before. And it's weird because when I first saw it, I thought it was really good. Like, to not pick it apart and to not to compare it to the original one with Gene Wilder.
But you can't not.
But now that we're sitting here and we have broken it down, I have to admit, I'm really disappointed in the storyline, the character development, how they just changed so many key components to the original movie. But now I was reading, though, they did not want this to be a sequel. It's a adaptation.
Well, it's a remake.
But it's not... Can you count it a remake if they changed so much?
I mean, it's still a remake. It is. I mean, it's the same story as the original. I mean, they left out some things that the original has, and they put in some things that the original didn't have. But it's still a remake. I mean, I guess you could say it's a readaptation of the book, but I still think it's for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory having been the only previous adaptation of the source material, this is a remake in my mind.
So then let me ask you this question. Had you ever read the book?
I read it when I was a kid.
And
I don't remember it. All I remember is the original film. I mean, that's what most people who are not into Roald Dahl's books have had experience and exposure to with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the movie with Gene Wilder from 1971. And I think that movie is a classic.
Hands down, it's a classic.
For a lot of reasons. Obviously, I mean, Gene Wilder's performance is great. Jack Albertson's performance as the grandpa is also really great. And it has the really memorable songs and all that. You know, it's a really memorable film. This movie, on the other hand, it doesn't feel memorable. Like sitting here now, there's nothing like sitting here now. I'm remembering stuff because we have to talk about it, but I mean, a month from now, a couple weeks from now, am I going to remember any of the plot beats of the movie? Am I going to like dwell on them? Did it affect me? I mean, there are parts from the original film that affect me, like when they're going through the tunnel and they're singing, you know, is there a way of knowing? And the chicken get its head cut off in the background. It's just like super crazy. In this movie, the original movie's not really for kids.
No.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
There were a lot of adult themes in the original movie that I think most kids just overlooked. Like, I remember watching the movie as a child and just thinking, oh, wow, that was really weird. But if I was a parent watching that, like, it would mean something more to me to see those things. To go back and watch it, those points stick stronger with me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wow, oh, geez, this movie is not for kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
at one point, Gene Wilder's character in the original says, candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. Like, that's not a kid. That's saying things like that, the whole boat ride scene, that's not a kid's movie. That's not indicative of a kid's movie.
Oh, God, no.
In this movie, it's called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's not even called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And I think that the title alone shows you where the focus is
more on Charlie's character than the actual... Because to me, in the original...
But I say that, but then it actually isn't, though, because so much is invested in the backstory with Willy Wonka. Like in the original movie, a lot of the things that are in this movie that they show, like him going to Loompa Land or him making the chocolate Taj Mahal for the Indian prince, that was just lines. And some of that was from the book. That I don't even remember. I think they might have mentioned it in the original. I don't remember exactly. I know they mentioned Loompa Land, and he's talking about snozwangers and hornswogglers, and then he says, then one of the characters says, I'm a teacher. It was Mike TV's mom in the original. She's like, I'm a teacher. That place doesn't exist. And he's like, what? I'm sorry. I'm a tad deaf in this ear. And they have to show it in this movie. It's like a 5-10 minute sequence.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
No.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the 3 hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
It was really bad. But do you think also that that Tim Burton invested more time into Willy Wonka's backstory, even though the title was centered on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Because, I mean, throughout multiple points in the movie, you see the flashbacks when, here you have Charlie asking Willy Wonka, do you remember your first piece of chocolate? And it flashes back to when Willy Wonka went trick-or-treating and his dad burns all of his candy in a defiant nature.
And that's the thing is I don't care about any of that. I don't know about you.
No, I
didn't care about, this is, I think, something that's become kind of indicative of American filmmaking the last 10 years, is the need to give characters that are mysterious backstories. They did it with Hannibal Lecter, didn't work out so well. They did it with Darth Vader with the prequels, didn't work out so well. They're doing it now with the Psycho TV show, Bates Hotel, which has Freddie Highmore, who played Charlie in this movie as Norman Bates. It's actually doing pretty well, but that's because it's a serialized format. I don't really care about Willy Wonka's backstory.
No, I mean, to me, it was just, it almost felt like filler more than actual needed for the plot of the story. Like, it was. And
this movie is 2 hours. I mean, this movie's 2 hours long.
Yeah,
so
it was a long movie.
I don't know how much, and the original film is only an hour and a half. The new film is 2 hours long. I don't think that they needed to pad this movie out. This movie is about a kid who goes to a candy factory, who is a good at heart kid. And they cut out a lot of the stuff in this movie that I think is, I don't know. In the original movie, there's a lot of stuff that's really quotable, memorable. All the Oompa Loompa songs in the original movie are fantastic.
I'm about to say, you were bringing up that point of this movie will not be memorable a week from now. But yet here we are, what is it? Almost 40 or over 40 years since the original Willy Wonka, and we can still quote lines from the movie. We can quote the songs. We remember.
Because they're awesome. Because they're memorable.
I actually kind of hated the fact that in this movie they had no memorable songs. I mean,
and that's surprising considering how Danny Elfman is the one who did the music.
I know. And what is his name that played the Oompa Loompas?
Deep Roy.
Deep Roy. Like, super funny guy, I guess. But here he is singing these songs.
But he's not even singing them. It's Danny Elfman. That is another issue with this movie. They have the same actor as all the Oompa Loompas.
Oh yeah, but in the original, they actually cast a bunch of different
little people.
Well, yeah, what is the correct term?
Little people? Yeah. In this movie, it's all Deep Roy, who is a little person. He's a small actor, but in this movie, it's all the same, which is first off never explained. Makes no sense.
Like, why did all of the Oompa Loompas look exactly the same?
Like Deep Roy, I have no idea.
And it's
but the music is just—it's not memorable. It's not fun. I mean, it doesn't even try to recapture the original film.
No, not at all.
Which I'm okay with, because I think if they tried to essentially ape the original film down to the aping the music, I think that would be an even bigger failure for a number of reasons. First off, I don't want to see a redone version of the Oompa Loompa songs in a new movie.
I will have to kind of disagree with you on this. I mean, I think it would have been interesting to see how they could have kept the lyrics but changed the music a little bit, adapted it to a more modern sound.
Well, they just changed it completely in this one.
Yeah, they just went completely off kilter, and it was just
what's interesting to me about this movie is they've been trying to get a remake of the original film off the ground since the early 90s, since 91. Some of the people that were involved with the film prior to Tim Burton taking the reins, Martin Scorsese was involved with the film.
Wait, Scorsese was going to try to make an adaptation?
Yeah. Well, he was involved with this film in its early stages. Bill Murray, Nick Cage, Jim Carrey, Michael Keaton, Brad Pitt, Will Smith, and Adam Sandler, and others were considered for the Willy Wonka role.
God, could you imagine some of those people? Like, I cannot imagine.
Keanu Reeves? No. Steve Martin, Robin Williams, Patrick Stewart, John Cleese, Leslie Nielsen, Dustin Hoffman, Marilyn Manson.
Wait, Marilyn Manson?
Yeah. And apparently, if you could believe this, so when Burton came on to direct the film, guess who his number one choice was? Johnny Depp.
Well, I mean, of course, but I mean, that's...
Do you know what his second choice was?
Robin Williams?
No. You're not going to guess this. This is too insane. This is too insane. It's a current actor. This is like mid 2000s who he would have considered. You're not going to get it. It's too insane.
I'm going to throw just something out there just because I think he was probably going to try to go for something crazy. And you're going to say, why would you even guess this? Freddie Prinze Jr. for some reason.
Nope. Who? Dwayne Johnson. The Rock. The Rock was his second choice in case Depp was unavailable.
I'm sorry, but I could never see Dwayne The Rock Johnson playing a charismatic character like Willy Wonka, to play it in the highs and the lows that Gene Wilder played it in the original. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't even understand what would be the point of casting Dwayne Johnson.
Well, And here's the thing. Here's what
really blows my fucking mind.
Here's what's really bad is, like, I'm sitting here and I remember Gene Wilder's character. I remember him just being like, you know, his laugh, his speech, his dialogue with the characters were so memorable. But in this movie with Johnny Depp, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I have seen damn near everything that Johnny Depp has done, and I have loved a lot of his movies.
He's not good in this movie.
No, this movie falls so short.
Because his character acts like he's autistic.
I think the conversations we also said prior to the podcast coming on.
He's like mentally retarded. He acts like he's mentally retarded.
And what was the other one that we were trying to say?
He literally, I mean, the way he acts around people is like he's mentally retarded or autistic. Which and Gene Wilder in the original film never did that.
No, Gene Wilder's
he was just like, I don't give a shit. He was just like a sarcastic dick.
But he played it so well that
because that was Gene Wilder.
I couldn't get mad at him. But then you also look at his character styling in Willy Wonka to some of his other movies, like Stir Crazy or Hear No Evil, See No Evil with Richard Pryor. Like, two completely different spectrums, but he plays the part so well. Like, Gene Wilder as an actor played all the roles very well, where Johnny Depp, I'm sorry, he falls so short in this role.
It's Johnny Depp being Johnny Depp in a Tim Burton movie. He's just being weird. He's just doing weird things. It's typical Johnny Depp in a Tim Burton movie. You know, and this is something that we talked about a little bit last week when we talked about on our 100th episode. We talked about Planet of the Apes remake with Tim Burton at the helm, the reimagining, which is a bad movie.
God, it's so bad. I mean, you have literally a one-dimension actor playing
a one-dimensional character. Yeah. But
Super
that
bad.
movie was Tim Burton's style, like, reined back a lot. It didn't, and you know, I know John mentioned a couple times he felt like it was still a Tim Burton movie. This movie is like Tim Burton times 1,000.
It's Tim Burton on crack. Like, he tried to push the envelope on so many things that I think in his quest to push the limits, he lost everything that he was trying to do. Because
it's super stylized. It's super stylized Tim Burton. I mean, Tim Burton has a very distinct style, lots of bright colors and crazy patterns and creepy, kooky, wacky, eccentric characters. And this movie is just filled with that. It's just that nonstop. The only character that's normal is Freddie Highmore's Charlie Bucket, and he is awful in this movie. He is an empty character in this movie. He doesn't even get characterization like in the original film. In this movie, the only thing I can really remember about his character is he loves his family. That's it. I love my family. I love my family. That's his character, 100%.
Now,
and he's essentially a street rat. He's a street rat, and he loves his family.
And he continually tries to,
and he loves
his family,
and he loves chocolate.
But I think chocolate is so underrated in that because, I mean, he could really care less about the chocolate. I think he just wanted to help his family along. But let me ask you another question. So what about David Kelly's character? The guy who played the new Grandpa Joe. Surprisingly, I liked that Grandpa Joe talked more in this one and there was more story to him.
But he didn't have a character. Once they get to the chocolate factory, his character is non-existent. Think about his character once they get to the chocolate factory. It's non-existent.
Oh God, it's so,
in the original film. I mean, his character, they do the whole fizzy lifting drinks thing. The grandpa in the original film is making kind of smart ass remarks under his breath about the kids throughout the film, especially when they're in the chocolate factory. In this movie, there's none of that. And the whole chocolate factory part, because of the focus on Willy Wonka as a character, the whole chocolate factory part is not even the main focus of the film.
No, absolutely not.
Because in Tim Burton's infinite wisdom, they included Willy Wonka's childhood as a main focus in the last third of the movie. Because like you were saying, they have a bunch of flashbacks, and Willy Wonka's dad was, of course, a dentist, and he didn't let him have candy. Of course not. And his dad is played by, one of the greatest actors ever, Christopher Lee, who gets 3 scenes in the movie?
Maybe. And it's
And he does nothing.
And he's such a bland character because you see him be a hardcore hard ass that destroys Willy Wonka's candy.
And tells him, I'm going to be gone if you go away. He's
away. Like, and then Willy Wonka comes in and says, I want to be the best chocolatier. And he's like, if you leave, I'm going to leave.
And then
Willy Wonka walks to the train station. They go, oh, we're closed. So he walks back home and the house is gone.
Literally gone.
Like, uprooted, lifted, taken away.
Typical Tim Burton bullshit. The house is literally gone.
Yeah, like you see all the other buildings, empty space, next row of buildings. And then when's the next time we see Christopher Lee's character? It's right at the end.
In the last 7 minutes of the movie.
And he's like,
Dad?
Hi, Dad. Oh, I'm so proud of you. It's like, what? Like,
and that's the thing.
It's like they tried to truncate so much emotional backstory into the last few minutes of the film.
Yeah, which I don't understand why you would do that if you're not going to either commit to it fully or don't do it. The original film didn't touch on Willy Wonka's backstory at all, which was great, which was really good. But I think what the main issue with this movie is that Willy Wonka's character is surrounded by a bunch of bland, boring characters you're not invested in. So his character, because none of the other characters are exciting, sticks out because his character is super eccentric and crazy and, says really weird shit. And his character design looks so weird.
Well, I mean,
he's got like a bob cut with his top hat, but within huge, like ridiculous, like bug eye sunglasses.
But the other thing that we also notice is how is it that like everything else is so colorful and then Willy Wonka is so washed out, like he's a muted character.
Because I think that it's because he like lives inside of his factory and he never comes out into daylight. But his character looks like...
So that makes him a vampire?
He looks gray. His character looks gray. All the other characters look photoshopped anyways. All the characters' skin is like perfect and it's almost like...
So you're talking like...
It's almost like a full...
Like Missy Pyle's character, super heavy makeup.
It's just... It reminds me of a full motion like storybook. Like a children's storybook. All the characters are very bright and colorful and their faces look perfect and they're all just perfect complexion. And the problem is this idea, you would think, is perfect for someone like Tim Burton. Perfect for a director with a very distinct style who takes chances in the film medium, and he makes some really interesting films. But I think that this movie is a huge failure because Tim Burton allows his Tim Burton-ness to override the story and just give us a lot of style. It's style over substance. There's no substance to this movie.
Oh, exactly.
It's boring. The music is awful. I mean, the visuals are great. That's the one thing I'll give this movie. The visuals are at least interesting.
Interesting, but lackluster at best.
Because we've seen it before. That's the problem. It doesn't even do anything new. We've seen when they go into that huge glade where the chocolate waterfall is. We've seen that a million times. If you've seen the original movie, you've essentially seen the new one's thing. It's nothing different. It doesn't do anything different.
But there's a dark element to a lot of it because a lot of the lighting in the first movie, everything was kind of natural lighted, coming into the glade where everything was kind of sunny and here's Willy Wonka dancing around and singing the song and everybody feels almost jovial being in there to where when they walk in the glade in this one, it's dark. It's just kind of creepy, especially like when Augustus Gloop falls into the chocolate river and is getting sucked up into the pipe. You almost see this look on Johnny Depp's face of like, yes, I'm glad this kid. Yeah, I'm glad this kid is getting sucked up into the machine and maybe turned into a marshmallow. Like,
and that's the thing about this movie is that there is a dark element that is played up more in this movie than in the original film. In the original film, you kind of got the sense that Willy Wonka was glad that the kids were getting, tortured and taken away. But in this movie, it's pretty obvious that Willy Wonka's like, these kids are sacks of shit. They get what they deserve. And they do. In the original film, you don't even get to see what happens to them after. I think that scene in this movie where you see the kids coming out of the chocolate factory, completely unnecessary. Nobody cares.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I liked seeing them walk out and be so disappointed because you have people like Veruca Salt.
But they're not. They still get a lifetime supply of chocolate. They still have that.
But they're still humiliated knowing that they have to walk through that crowd and be paraded in front of those people that were like,
I don't think they cared.
Wait, what was it like inside? And here's, Veruca Salt covered in garbage because she's a little princess pansy ass who just gets whatever she wants. Well, guess what? You didn't get it today. Then you have Violet Beauregard coming out who can tumble because she's been squished and, extracted of all the blueberry juice. And then she's like, look, Mom, I'm so flexible. And the mom's like, yeah, but you're blue. And then you have, TV, who's stretched to damn near 9 feet tall. Like, I was happy to see them
the
get
problem
their
is
just dues.
I didn't care about the characters in this movie because the characters in this movie are done so much better in the original. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that in this movie the characters aren't nearly as memorable or exciting as the ones in the original.
No, in the original, each character
was you understood their motivations, you understood why they were doing what they were doing, and it was good. In this movie, I've seen this before. Okay, I see, and like that's the thing with this movie is why would you watch this if the original is still there and the original is so much better done? They don't change what they change in this movie. They don't change for the better. They change for the worse.
Oh, absolutely.
Johnny Depp's performance as Willy Wonka is it's almost like Tim Burton was like, just do whatever you want. I'm gonna leave you be. Do whatever you want. Go as fucking nuts as you want. Don't hold back with this performance. And that's the way this movie feels. It feels like Johnny Depp was just allowed to do some nutso shit in this movie. And that's the way it feels. His performance is so fucking bad. It's like astounding. You said that you like Johnny Depp.
I do.
I like Johnny Depp, but not as much as I used to, because he's been making shit like this for the last 10 years. Johnny Depp has been in just what seems to be garbage after garbage after garbage for like the last 5-10 years.
Nah,
Mordecai, Pirates 4, Pirates 5, which is coming out.
See, I like the Pirates movie because I like how he plays that particular character.
Have you seen Pirates 4?
Yes. I mean, it's...
Johnny Depp is, to me, in my opinion, total diminishing returns. And this movie is just proof of point. Johnny Depp, when he's just given the keys to the kingdom like he is in this movie, he lacks self-control when it comes to characters. And I feel like when he's working with Tim Burton's just like, do whatever you want. Because they've done like 8 movies together. Tim Burton and Johnny Depp have worked together 8 times. I think Tim Burton has made like 19 movies. So he's been in like half of his movies. And in every movie that he's in, he's a focal point of the film. Even when he's not the main character, like in the Alice in Wonderland movie, he's still on the poster. He's still a huge part of the film.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about that, that brings up a really good point that here you have... The movie is actually called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And who is the main picture on the movie poster? It's Willy Wonka.
This movie is about Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka. But the problem is that is not the interesting story that anyone wants to hear about.
So that brings me up to a point. Interesting story. One thing that I really disliked about this film was how much they cut out from the original story. Slugworth. You didn't hear...
Yeah, but but the problem is if they put the Slugworth character in this movie, it would serve no point. They had it for like a second.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, though, but you don't even see the kids like, hey, we need to keep this because we need to turn it over to Slugworth and we'll get lots of money. Like, there was no Slugworth. There was no... These kids were just shit kids who got their just desserts because they're shit kids. It wasn't they got their just desserts because they were trying to sabotage Willy Wonka and get his ideas and take them to Slugworth. So, I mean, that was a big disappointment for me in the movie was how much they cut from the original story that I felt were key points. Like, if you're going to make a readaptation or whatever they want to call this, stick to some of the main points of the original movie,
Well, that's the thing is they claim, it's closer to the book and blah, 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 blah. The people that have seen this movie, a lot of the people are never going to read the book. So their point of reference for this film is...
The film.
Yeah. And they changed enough in this movie that it feels like a different film, but they didn't change enough to warrant this film existing. You know what I mean? They changed enough where it's not, this is a carbon copy shot-for-shot remake, but they didn't change enough where I'm like, you should watch this because this is better. It's not better. And the real issue again with this movie is it's just everything about it just feels like I've seen this done better. 40 years ago. Yeah. So why would I watch this? 30 years ago, I guess, when this movie originally came out in 2005. And, you know, it's just one of those things where remakes, a lot of the time, they can't justify why they exist. And this movie, I feel like you can't justify to me why this movie exists. Tim Burton has done much better films than this. You know, Tim Burton for a while there, just, you know, he made Sleepy Hollow, which I've seen parts of, I wasn't a huge fan of. Then he made Planet of the Apes. Then he made Big Fish, which is it's a good film.
I like Big Fish.
And then he made this movie. So he almost made Planet of the Apes and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory back to back. Two huge, big budget Hollywood movies. I mean, they had huge budgets. I think Tim Burton works best when he doesn't have a huge budget. When he doesn't have like a $150 million budget. Like Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, not $150 million budget. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Ed Wood is awesome. Mars Attacks is, you know, take it or leave it. Sweeney Todd, I think, is my favorite Tim Burton movie.
That was, yeah.
For a number of reasons.
Yeah, that was a great movie. That was actually
But that's not his idea, mind you. That's an adaptation. That is an adaptation from a stage play. So I can't give
But to me,
I can't
Sweeney
give him
Todd
credit.
was a great movie through and through. I thought the characters were played right. Everything was on point that needed to be on point.
But it's not Tim Burton's idea.
Yeah.
If we're talking
But you were talking budget though.
If we're talking original films that Tim Burton has come up with or that are original ideas, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands. After Edward Scissorhands, everything that he makes is more or less an adaptation of a pre-existing source material or one or two original pieces in there. So you have Big Fish, which is an original idea. Corpse Bride, which is an original idea.
Great movie.
And then you have films like Alice in Wonderland, Dark Shadows. Then you have The Planet of the Apes. You almost had him making a Superman movie. You have Mars Attacks, Batman movies, Nightmare Before Christmas, which he didn't direct, he just produced. I think Tim Burton, everybody remembers Tim Burton for the movies that he made, not for the movies that, the movies that are his successes, not for the movies that are his failures. And a lot of his failures are stunning failures.
Oh, yes.
In their inability to connect with the audience and give us something worth watching. And I think that this movie really is a huge failure. It's just flat. It's flat.
To me, it almost seems like Tim Burton needs to stick to what Tim Burton does, which is come up with an original idea and make that original movie the best that it can be.
Not adapting other people's shit.
Dude, stick to your own ideas. Be happy with the fact that you've made films that are memorable, like Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Corpse Bride, Big Fish. You know, I mean, here are movies.
And mind you, I mean, he didn't even write Beetlejuice. He didn't even write some of his biggest movies, which, again, you know, a lot of directors don't write their own movies.
Well, maybe he's hiring the right writers then, because those movies stick out.
Yeah, because it's the right script with his style. His style suits a specific kind of script, and this movie, you know, and I don't know how much of it is Tim Burton's fault. It could be the screenplay by John August. John August may not be the most adept screenwriter, but I feel like this movie feels like such a Tim Burton movie that he gets a lot of the blame.
Yeah.
And I think that it's deserved blame.
Yeah.
So.
Well, when your name is right out there for everyone to see, then unfortunately,
unfortunately, you're the one taking the bullet.
Yeah.
But Kyle, skip it or watch it, and best performance.
I hate to say it because I go back to the fact that I'm such a Johnny Depp fan, but honestly, skip it. If you want to see this, watch the original 1971 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder. I mean, such a great film. Never should have been changed. It never should have been reimagined, readapted, whatever they want to call it. It was right what it needed to be.
Yeah,
so,
no, I agree.
And if I have to go with a best performance in the film, God, it's hard to find a good performance when everything was so overshadowed by such a bad performance.
Oh yeah, it's like, really Johnny Depp taking the reins and making it his movie.
Then I'm gonna have to go with who I thought up until they make it to the Chocolate Factory, David Kelly as Grandpa Joe. I loved the start of him. I loved that they developed him a little bit. You know, he had some pretty funny lines here and there. Nothing memorable, but, you know, it made you chuckle. But other than that, every other character just falls flat in comparison. So
yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, for me this is a definite skip for a number of reasons. It's not the original film is on top of everything, it's kind of a musical. I mean, there's the Candyman song, there's the Pure Imagination song, then there's a song on the boat, then there's all the kids songs, so it's like 8 songs. That's a musical. This movie, you know, not memorable music, which is surprising because it's Danny Elfman. This seems like it's suited right for Tim Burton for his kind of style, and he just fails to put together a movie that is memorable in the plot sense. And then Johnny Depp's performance is just creepy, I think is the word. I wouldn't want a guy like that interacting with my kids, regardless of whether or not he's a chocolate factory owner and a super rich guy. I don't care.
I wouldn't leave my kids in the room with him for 2 minutes.
He looks like a creep.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if they were trying to like ape Michael Jackson, because this was around the time that, you know, I mean, this was a little prior to the whole Michael Jackson molesting kids thing, but he was, you know what I mean? Like, he was just kind of, come on. It's not a great performance, and it makes the film worse than it made it better. So it's a definite skip for me. And best performance,
I mean, can you yourself find?
I mean, my favorite performance from the film are those fucking puppets that they run into at the beginning when they
ones that burn.
The ones that burn. That is my favorite part of this movie, is when they go to the chocolate factory. And in the original film, like, Gene Wilder like comes out and he like falls over and does like a flip, and he's like, you know, Willy Wonka. In this movie, it's kind of like that scene in Shrek where there's like the thing opens and there's like puppets.
Dulocus.
But in this movie, it's like it's like a Willy Wonka song, which is the best song in the movie because it's, I don't know, there's something about it. It's just such a really kind of catchy song.
That is actually the one song that, now that you think about it, I actually can remember certain lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, I can remember the melody and the tone,
but it's one song.
Willy Wonka.
But it's one song in the entire movie. And it is my favorite part of the movie. And you're right, these puppets, they're singing, and then all of a sudden fireworks start and they burst into flames. So those are my favorite. Those are my favorite characters in the movie.
Why? Because you feel this movie just crashed and burned. And
it did. It really did. So with that being said, with our opinions on record, Kyle, what do you think the Rotten Tomato score is for the film?
Out of
100%.
Out of 100%.
And this is critic aggregation. So it's all the critics' scores aggregated and then turned into one score.
I'm giving it a 46.
You're going to be wrong. It's 83%.
What?
Yeah.
How can they say this movie is? Never mind.
And the thing is, it's 83% and it's certified fresh, which means that 75% of the reviews.
75%.
So 80 reviews are at a 75% or higher, and that has to include 5 reviews from top critics. So critics thought that this movie was good. And the critics' consensus is closer to the source material than 1971's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is for people who like their chocolate visually appealing and dark. So what if it's more close to the source material than the original? If most people haven't read the source material, no one would know the difference anyways.
And I mean, honestly, how many people have read the source material for this?
No one. I mean, I've read it, but I don't remember it.
Exactly.
Guess what the audience score is?
God, 93?
51% out of 32 million user ratings.
So the critics who want to sit here and say, oh, it is a phenomenal movie.
Critics liked it more than the audience.
The audience is saying, yeah, I'll pass up on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there you go, critics.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. Aren't we being critical right now?
Yeah, and I actually have some friends who have rated it on Rotten Tomatoes. Some people that I know, and I have 14 friends on Rotten Tomatoes who have rated this film.
What did they rate it? That's what I'm curious.
One of my friends rated it a 4. That the 4 is the highest one, and then the lowest is a 1. So, I mean, I think that you either really like this movie or you really hate this movie. I don't think there's any middle ground.
No,
I'd be curious to hear someone's opinion who hadn't seen the original.
Can you find someone that has never seen the original?
You might. I think that if you hadn't seen the original, you might have a different opinion on this film. You might be able to just be like, I've never seen the original, so I really liked it.
Well, because you'd have nothing to base it off of.
No,
you would have no bias.
Unless I want to meet someone who's read the book, never seen the original, but watched this movie. I wanted to hear what their take is on it.
If you find that person, please let me know.
I would like to.
I want to hear that review.
No, I do.
I
want to hear what their thoughts would be. But Kyle, thank you for sitting down and talking with me.
No, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. It's fun to be on this side and not just listening.
Just listening.
It's nice. I like it.
And if you like more of what you're hearing, you can go over to cultureshock.com and listen to our backlog of podcasts. We have over 100 now. If you want to check those out, you can follow me on Twitter at Kulturestash. And we got 2 more great podcasts coming up for you next week, so make sure to check those out.
Salt, the little brute, has just gone down the garbage chute, and she will be, as she descends, a rather different